Today we're going to be doing sum and difference, and the three different equations we're going to be using is tangent, sine, and cosine. The tangent equation is a plus or minus b equals sine of a plus or minus b over cosine of a plus or minus b. The sine equation is a plus or minus b equals sine of a times cosine of b plus or minus cosine of a times sine of b. The third equation is cosine, and it is a plus or minus b equals cosine of a times cosine of b plus or minus sine of a times sine of b. So the first equation we're going to be doing today is tangent. So this is the equation I just had on the board, and the numbers we're going to be doing today is tangent of 105 is equal to tangent of 60 plus tangent of 45 over 1 minus tangent of 60 times tangent of 45. Once you have written down all of your values, you will locate 60 and 45 on the unit circle and use the corresponding points, and those are the square root of 3 plus 1 over 1 minus the square root of 3 times 1. This is then equal to 1 plus the square root of 3, over 1 plus the square root of 3. You will then multiply it by the conjugate, so you will do 1 plus the square root of 3 over 1 minus the square root of 3 equals, times 1 plus the square root of 3 over 1 plus the square root of 3. You will then combine like terms, and you will get 1 plus 2 square roots of 3 plus 3, and this is all over 1 minus 3. I'm going to erase what's on the board to create more space. After you have combined your like terms, you will get 4 plus 2 square roots of 3 all over negative 2. And you will then simplify this to get negative 2 minus the square root of 3. And this will be your final answer. And that will be your answer to the tangent formula. Next, we will do cosine. The cosine formula we'll be using today is cosine of a plus or minus b equals to cosine of A times cosine of B plus or minus sine of A times sine of B. So the terms we're going to be using today, the numbers we're going to be using today are cosine of 105 equals cosine of 60 plus cosine, 45. Since 105 isn't on the unit circle, we have to find two values that are, so that is 60 and 45. This is all going to equal to cosine of 60 degrees times cosine of 45 minus sine of 60 times sine of 45. You will then locate the values on the unit circle and find what they are equal to. And we will get 1/2 times square root of 2 over 2 minus square root of 3 over 2 times the square root of 2 over 2. You will then simplify this even further to get the square root of 2 over 4 minus the square root of 6 over 4. Then you will simplify again and you will get the square root of 2 minus the square root of 6 over 4, and this will be your final answer for cosine. Next, we will do sine. So our equations for sine is sine of A plus or minus B is equal to sine of A times cosine of B plus or minus cosine of A times sine of B. We are going to be doing 165 equals 120 degrees plus 45. Since 165 is not on the unit circle, that is why I'm using 120 plus 140 plus 45, because they're both on the unit circle and add up to 165. So you plug your values into the equation to get sine of 165 equals sine 120 plus 45. This will then equal sine of 120 times cosine of 45 plus cosine of 120 times sine of 45. You will then find these values on the unit circle, and you will find that they equal to or equivalent to square root of 3 over 2 times square root of 2 over 2 plus negative 1/2 square root of 2 over 2. You will then simplify this and you will get square root of 6 minus the square root of 2 all over 4, and this will be your final answer for sine. And that is the end.